Welcome to Pussy Power. Welcome to the first episode of Pussy Power. This podcast is all about female empowerment and finding your voice despite every other obstacle out there. And if you don't already know, it's much harder to get your voice out there when you have two boobs and a vagina and you are attractive. I think especially if you're attractive. But yes, I wanted to have this podcast just so we could potentially just gather here as women, as strong, empowered women. And there are probably going to be a lot of talks about relationships.
This is all for women.
Depends. Okay. Don't interrupt me. I'm making my intro.
Okay.
This is also going to be about growing up, adulting, exploring aspect of yourself as an individual, and learning how to love yourself, learning how to evolve and how to let go and how to accept things the way they are and just embrace growth and change. There are also going to be a lot of talks about sex. So if that makes you uncomfortable, then I hope that you got a very comfortable seat out there. All right, guys, for today's first episode, or if you're listening to this tonight, whatever, wherever you may be in the world, for first episode, we're going to talk about a strong, independent woman's foray into dating. And this is specifically about just letting go or accepting things that are kind of out of that label, which is that strong, independent woman label that I feel like a lot of women definitely want to describe themselves as, because it's a really empowering label. It is an empowering identity. It is. This identity has served me for such a long time. It's helped me be a go-getter and not rely on people and forces that I can't really control, but just to make things happen on my own with sheer grit and willpower and determination. So, strong, independent woman, that's a really coveted label. And I feel like everyone wants to be one because, you don't really find a lot of good men these days, unfortunately. But that's just my opinion. You guys feel free to disagree if you disagree. That's what free thinking is for, right? Today, I have this guy joining me. He's a friend. And we're going to be talking about my relationship with that label, strong, independent woman. Yes. Okay. So, when you first saw me, what did I just have a question. When you first saw me, did I give off that aura?
Hi guys, I'm a guy she's dating. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I saw that right away. But I think we should talk about what makes a woman strong and independent. Because there are lots of people out there who has different ways to identify or to define a strong and independent woman. So what really is a strong and independent woman though?
Yeah. I guess.
Is it financial thing? Or is it a...
Right. It's like... Okay, so we need to set the standards for what a strong independent woman
is. Before we enter into
that. I feel like it's different for everyone because everyone has a different background. So in my context, I am first born in a Filipino family, in an Asian family, and I was raised by a single mother. My dad had another family, so it's kind of like I had to be strong and independent at a very early age because I didn't have my parents. So I guess in my context, I didn't have any inheritance, or like I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I think that for me, in my context, and probably for a lot of people who are in the same boat as me, being strong and independent means being resilient through any adversity.
Okay.
And being able to stand on your own 2 feet and not have to rely on anyone else, because you're kind of like when you're in that position, maybe not just in that position, and a lot of times there will be times when you're the one that people rely on. So for example, my mom relied on me a lot because I was the eldest, and that's a really big responsibility.
Yeah.
Like,
there was actually a point in history where strong, independent women were frowned upon. But now it's something that you can actually be proud of, because it's not easy to be that, because most women by nature are submissive.
I wouldn't disagree with that, but yeah, generally.
Yeah, in the people I've known.
Yeah.
And usually, okay, again, from the people I've known, it's very easy for women to find shelter, support, and a place to live, even finances, from men, really strong, powerful, and bossy men. And the problem there is when men just let them go, or when they get into an argument and they end things, these women wouldn't stay single for long, right? They would seek shelter right away to another one.
Wow.
So they're like being swept to and fro, from one to another, to another, to another. And I'm not just talking financially here, because there are women who are financially stable, but they still can't stay single for long, because they felt that they have to be with someone so that their mindset, their peace of mind is preserved, And I think a strong, independent woman is more than just about having money, but having that grit, having that sense of independence, even if no one is out there to take care of you, no one is out there caring for you, but you still are able to hold on your own, And that's very admirable. That's very, very, very admirable. So your transition, how's it going?
Okay, so I don't think people know exactly what you're talking about, right? But to add to that, I totally agree with that. It's not just about money, like being strong and independent. It's not just about money, because there are a lot of celebrities who get into like toxic relationships with guys, and like, yeah, they're financially good, but emotionally they're not as strong
And independent.
Like they always kind of like need to depend on somebody else for them to feel good,
Happy.
yeah. And I feel like right now,
Because we're dating.
it's kind of like, hey, lost my train of thought there. But where were we? Yeah, we're at people being good financially, but they really don't, like, they're not strong emotionally. Yeah.
And you feel like...
Yeah. Hey, stop putting words in my mouth,
just
man.
continuing what you said earlier.
Shush. Okay, so I feel like that's still like, yeah, like you may have the money, but in terms of like inner strength of being able to hold your own and maybe own your voice and not just blindly follow what somebody else wants for you.
Seeking validation,
Yeah,
seeking
yeah,
appreciation,
yeah,
seeking approval all
yeah,
the time.
yeah,
Like, yeah, girls seek those on and on, even if they have all the money,
yeah.
they still don't feel enough.
I feel like it's like a woman's nature too. Like for example, the reason why a lot of women leave the corporate world before they like hit it really big is because a lot of them realize that it's more fulfilling to actually care for a household and be a mom than like climb to the top of the ladder in a corporate world.
Yeah, I noticed that it's so easy for some women to just abandon their dreams for a guy. Literally. Like, they would abandon their hopes and dreams when they find someone who's AKA worth it in their for them. So
I don't think it's them abandoning their hopes and dreams, but I feel like you're lacking context there. Because, like, for example, if somebody becomes a mom, they're not going to go after their dream to be like a stripper in LA or like be
yeah.
a millionaire or like, be the most famous whatever. Like, they're not going to go ahead and just abandon that. That's very irresponsible and that goes against, the nurturer and a lot of women. And I feel like it's not really just abandoning their dreams, although a lot of people have done that
Yeah.
traditionally, older people
Okay.
and some younger people.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it's abandoning. It's more like, okay, shit, I'm pregnant, I have a family to take care of, and this is my priority for now. It's really all about like, okay, for now this is my priority.
No, but there are women when they find a guy that they're totally head over heels for, totally in love, and the guy would ask them to, hey, I'm gonna be moving someplace else. If you're still working or whatever you're doing, if you don't come with me or whatever, like we might never see each other again. Some women would actually just drop everything and just go with that guy. That was what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times I know somebody's like that. A lot of times it's because their dream is to be a good wife. Their dream is to have a good family, and maybe the life that guy is offering is a
I
lot better than the
guess.
one they have. Like for example, like I know this couple.
Or their dream were replaced by a different dream, maybe.
Maybe they realized they had a different dream and it was
To be
much
a wife.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for example, because for women, it's really like a lot of women find fulfillment in taking care of someone, taking care of the kids. That there's a reason why a lot of people are in love with motherhood. Like, just a lot of reasons why. And I feel like it's kind of unfair to say that a lot of them has abandoned their dreams because a lot of them also find what dream they never really even thought they had in that process. So I think it's really about like a journey of evolving and growing. And yeah, like you told me before, when you're taking care of kids, it's not like, oh my god, I'm growing, yeah. It's not like that. It's like boring. It gets repetitive, routinary, tiring, all those things. It kind of like sap the excitement out of somebody who used to be independent, but now they have like responsibilities.
Yeah. Because your progress for yourself, you have to put that on pause. Because you're nurturing the progress of the little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at first you're doing it because it's cute, it's fun, and it's a responsibility. But then when all the cute and fun is over, when the poops come in and when the repetition gets to your head, you start realizing that, oh wait, I'm not growing anymore. I'm not doing progress for myself anymore, and I'm giving up a huge chunk of my years for these things. Yeah.
A lot of people find that worth it though.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, there are some, but some actually gets depressed.
Oh yeah.
But there's this called baby blue syndrome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like
Because-
mothers just jump off the roof
Oh damn.
after pregnancy.
I feel like it's because I don't know why like right after pregnancy, probably not, but because like when you have such a strong sense of self, and like it depends, right? It depends on the person, it depends on the mom. But when you have like such a strong sense of self and you feel like you lose that, that's why when COVID hit, a lot of athletes felt depressed.
Yeah.
Because who they once were is not something that they could express right now because it's
Okay.
restrictions.
Let's circle back to the actual topic here, which is the transition from a very independent persona or you into dating. Do you really see it as something that you're surrendering the strong and independent you, or just a change is happening?
Yeah, change is happening. It's not like surrendering who I am completely. I mean, I still do my yoga. I still write in the morning. I still have my healthy smoothies. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I still like to look good every day.
Still, like, you still love doing business and everything.
Yeah, I still like.
All of that is still running.
I still like good sex. Still me.
Yeah, awesome sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like right now I feel like I am transitioning because of the changes that I've had like financially and the things that I've had to let go of because they stopped feeling right for me. And like not everybody obviously has the luxury to just like abandon like the things that make them money because it no longer feels right for them. I'm very lucky to be at this place where I could actually lean on you and just like restart and not have to worry about responsibilities. I feel like I'm gonna afford again.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna put myself in your shoes, okay, let's say the table's switched. I want to try to sympathize or empathize. I'm gonna try to empathize what you're feeling here. Okay, if that was me, I wonder how I feel. Okay,
For
let's
example,
say.
if you had to crash with your friend because your company went.
No. Let's put it in our context. Let's say you have to crash on your place. Let's say, it would be probably one of the most humbling thing I do. All right, because seeing you for the first time, of course, I want to make an impression, and we did make awesome impressions.
Oh, that was
on
awesome.
each other, and I guess for you, what for me it was okay, and sometimes you want to keep that otherness. We want to keep that level of awesomeness. The way you see me. I want to keep that high status, high horse look that you give me. But to surrender and to live with you actually meant I have to step down from that high horse and jump on your horse. Right? And yeah, that's so awesome right there. Where's my mask? Okay, guys. Okay, I'm not gonna let that stop me. Okay.
It's not my fault.
So,
for context, you guys, I just farted
Right,
because I ate too much cheese that I've never eaten before, and boom, there you go.
Things that come with it. Okay. So, where the hell was that? So, for you to do what you do, which is to enter dating, no longer just you on your own relying on yourself, but relying on each other, is a whole new world of experience. If I were to do that,
Yeah.
like it would probably be like, it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. It's a big thing. You have to have complete trust. You have to have complete comfort. You have to have some level of compatibility, understanding, expectations, and to move forward with that, to go through with that, is something that you should not take lightly. To everyone there who's still strong and independent and wants to enter dating, and have decided to maybe live together. But if I were in your place and I started feeling compassion and affection to the opposite gender, I'd probably do the same thing. I probably would. Because it's like the best opportunity to get to really know the person, you know?
Yeah.
You get to really see him where he is. Because it's one thing to see him during travel trips and dates, but it's a whole other thing to see him from where he's really staying.
Yeah.
You know, but it's also important to set boundaries that if shit hits the fan, I'm out. You know, it's important to understand that the exit is just there.
Yeah.
And the both of us aren't like forced to live with each other. It was a decision made of our own free will. And it's a safe and healthy space for the both of us to know and to grow and to learn from each other. Along with other benefits like smelling each other's farts.
For context, I just farted and he literally just put on a face mask because I farted. So basically, because when I was dating, it wasn't this big of a step because it was just like swiping left, right on Tinder and seeing them and them knowing that I'm kind of like more successful than them, or so it seems.
It's like the most common reaction you get from them.
Yeah. Of course, it's like
what words do you hear over and over again?
Like, you're so young, and you already achieved a lot of things.
And then when you hear that, you eye roll and here we go again.
No, I don't.
Another record.
I don't roll my eyes. I'm just I know that if I'm being honest, that's not somebody that I would want to be in a long-term relationship with, just because, guys, you're the first priority on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is safety, right? How can you focus on another person? How can you focus on a relationship when you're still building yourself? And it's more important for guys because guys are providers and society made it so.
And leaders.
So, yeah. So it's kind of sure, we'll make out, but, I'm not expecting you to be my boyfriend. Totally cool. It's not so I definitely still felt power there. I'm the one in power. I'm the one in control.
And that doesn't turn you on when you're the one in power and in control?
It depends.
Depends on the scenario.
Yeah. Because I used to guys who were definitely way ahead of me. And definitely way, 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 way more successful. And I don't know, it just it was definitely a different thing. I felt like I was still my independent self during that phase where I was just swiping left, right on Tinder and making out with people in their cars. Not a lot, but a very, very select few. Not a lot of cute guys, fortunately. Cute and smart and funny.
Okay, you hear that, guys? I'm cute and smart and funny.
And I just feel it's the timing of the stars just kind of aligned there, because when you hit me up, I don't know what came over me. I just it was really just funny when you messaged me, and I just felt like you were flirting with me. There was something about the energy of that message that just screamed, I'm flirting with you. And that's why I responded hey, are you hitting me up because I'm attractive or because you want to partner up?
Yeah, that came off as kind of boastful.
Because I felt it. I felt you were flirting with me.
Yeah, all right. I think they should know the message I sent you, though.
Yeah.
So I told her, I was looking for a guest for my talk show. And then one of my employees told me, hey, let's invite Angela. And I said, who's she? And then this guy gave me your profile and said, oh, interesting. All right. So as any professional CEO would do, I sent you a very decent, professional, behaved message. And that message was, hey, I know lots of guys have probably messaged you, so I'll just go weird and say, I got kicked out of a hospital because I told the COVID patients to stay positive. And then I didn't actually thought that would work. But then she responded and she said, are you hitting up on me? And then I didn't want it to come off too obvious, so I decided to go with the business approach angle. And that was the start of our conversation.
Anyways, like, okay, so it evolved from like just flirting to something that I don't think we expected it to evolve to. Like,
oh my God, she just told me after that date, like she actually thought in her head that I'm like, it's over with this guy. She just told me earlier. Like, what made you think that? Like, it's over with this guy?
because you were so clingy. You were like, you needed my validation so much. It was such a turn off.
All right, I'll give you that. But I was also 100% honest
Yeah,
in
you
the
were
last
honest.
day.
And that's why I give you a chance.
Chance?
Because you were honest.
Oh, you gave me a chance, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, okay.
Yeah.
So, where were we again?
So it evolved from just flirting to
Oh, yeah. Something
yeah.
something more.
Yeah, and now it's like, this is my first time I'm gonna move in with a guy. Or I've even considered, moving in with someone. And it makes it... Okay, so this is the real meat of the topic, okay? So now, I've had fears of kind of like losing myself because I've never really lived with anyone who's not family.
I also had fears of not being a careless, fun, crazy, gaming, don't give a fuck with my money guy anymore. Like, I can just stay out all night living an unhealthy life. Like, I was kind of afraid of letting go of that side of me. Because living with someone, guys, no matter how many times you tell each other, it's okay, you can do whatever you want. That's technically a lie. Because you can't do everything you want anymore. You have to consider that someone is living with you. There are boundaries. There are safe words.
Safe words.
There are limits now to what you can and cannot do, especially when you're living with a girl who you're dating, right? And so it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Where were we again?
That you have your fears, I have my fears of like, does this mean that I'm not like independent anymore? Does it mean I'm not this strong?
So those are your fears for that?
Yeah, like, does it mean I'm not strong anymore? Like, what does it say about me? Like, does this mean I'm not strong?
Yeah, because the common belief of a lot of people is when a girl moves in with a guy is they've been kicked out of their family's place, or she doesn't have her shit together. That's the common belief. But believe it or not, guys, I was the one who asked her to stay with me. All right, I was the one.
But it's not just that. It's like if I, because this is the first time that I'm at least trying to like trust somebody, because like, my dad, as much as I love him, if you're listening, Dad, I love you.
Love you too, Daddy.
But I wasn't really able to like rely on him 100% because, I understand he has a business, he has another family, he's taking care for a lot of people, he has a lot of employees, and I totally understand that. I understood that when I got into business and I had to take care of people. I didn't have time to call my family every weekend. Well, I did, but I forgot. So I understand him more now, but I don't think I've ever really kind of trusted or tried to trust this much, because I've always come from that mindset of, I'm gonna build myself so much, I'm not gonna have to rely on somebody else or accept or need help, like that kind of help.
You do know that they're gonna probably be listening to this one, right?
My parents?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, how do you think they react when they know you're
They
moving
know
into-
I'm independent.
Awesome.
They know it. They can't do anything about it. They're not paying for my bills. You know?
That's one thing I learned about Angela. Like she's not the typical follower of Filipino traditions. And that's one thing that amazed me because, oh yeah, that's a whole nother topic anyway. All right, so living together, fears, all that shit. How did we manage it? How did we
No,
overcome it?
let's stay on that. I feel like um I needed to let that go and not be restrained by the strong independent woman, like bravado or like identity, because I put my self-worth on how strong and independent I was.
I
Like,
still see you as that person though.
yeah, we still haven't moved in.
Got that. Okay.
Yeah, you're
You
finally-
really think that you're no longer strong and independent because we're
No,
moving?
it's not that I don't think I'm strong and independent. It's that the fear of like, because I got attached to that identity, because I had to be that person for such a
So
long
do
time.
you have to let go of that identity when we move in together?
I think it's more like accepting, for example, that you're gonna be paying for the bills, that I'm.
Wow, you're really honest, huh?
Yeah,
Going all out.
that
okay.
I'm gonna be taking a time out and restarting, because when I was in that situation before, I never really truly felt safe, right? Like, yeah, my dad would pay for food, for bills and whatever, but I never really fully trusted that. It's kind of like, okay, you're paying for my bills right now, but I'm still gonna build myself so I can get the fuck out of here. It's like that, because like, I don't know, like, I guess I had so much pride, but also like so much mistrust.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's fucking scary, because like the point of me actually being independent was so that I wouldn't have to rely on somebody, so that I wouldn't have to ask them for help or come back to them and say, oh shit, like I have to start over right now.
As a guy, I actually feel nice being relied on because as men, if we don't demonstrate our ability to provide, to give pleasure, like there are girls who really don't want to have sex, but that actually damaging for a guy because a guy wants to know that they're pleasuring their woman in bed. Like it's a built-in thing. If we're not able to do that, we lose our identity as providers, pleasurers. There's such a thing. And so for you, it's like giving up something because you're relying on me. But for me, it's like a normal thing. Finally, I'm back to being a provider again. Finally, I'm back to being the guy who gives pleasure again. Finally, I'm back to being a guy who is being relied on. And I don't see that as something that... And I don't see you any different at all.
So yeah, it's kind of like that strong independent woman thing was an armor, and I built that, and now so that I feel like this is what's happening, so that I could evolve into that next version of myself, I need to stop hanging on to that, because otherwise I wouldn't grow. Like for example, and the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like safety, blah blah blah, it's on the bottom right, and that armor saved me and helped me when I was at that stage. But above that is, relationships and relating with other people and connecting emotionally. And I feel like if I held on to that armor, it wouldn't allow me to grow. It would like, for example, when you like messaged me, I was already at the point in my life where I just wanted to give up that business, although it was generating money. I was already at a point where I was like, fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. And that's why I was more receptive of your presence, because I needed help. So I feel like the pieces just fit together, because like, okay, I just needed...
She doesn't know I'm in trouble in business too. Like...
Yeah, I didn't know that. But you're actually not in trouble because you have the skills. You just lack the management
Yeah, that's
part.
a different topic again about skills and business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I need her as well, because I see her as the key to me exploding with success in business. I see her as that missing link to me unlocking my potential. So in a way, we're actually doing this because we find something in each other that's, I don't want to say the word missing, but
Complementary.
that complementary, and that will unlock a part of us that will enable growth.
Yeah.
Financially, emotionally, spiritually, but So yeah, I see it as the right move. Hit me all you want.
No.
Go ahead.
No, not really. I feel like the reason why I had fears too is because I saw just like I used to look down on women who let guys provide for them.
And
Like,
use selfie sticks.
yeah, and use selfie sticks. But more on like women who let guys provide for them. Like it was always something that I like kind of like looked down on. I'm not sure where that came from, but like, aw, like she's just letting a guy provide for her and they're married. So sad, and she just stays at home. And I just looked down on that for so long. And now that I'm in the position of like, oh shit, am I really gonna just let somebody else like provide for me completely?
She bought groceries.
When I've
groceries.
When I've provided for myself for a long time and like really strive to be just on my own. Okay, kiss after the episode. It's a big step and it's scary, and I'm like, the reason why I'm kind of scared is because I see women who lose themselves. I see women who like get betrayed and get taken for granted because the guy pays their bills and the guy doesn't respect them anymore, and the guy feels like they own that girl and now they can go shopping elsewhere, you know. So that's kind of like is this even the right decision for me? Like, is this gonna be beneficial to whatever this is gonna be? And after a month, holy fucking shit, it's really big for me. Like, it's like the biggest
it is Nero told me it is.
The what?
It's the biggest thing you've ever done.
To move in?
Yeah.
And I feel, and that's why I didn't want to do it, because like I'm gonna start over, because I'm gonna feel like I'm broke because I'm gonna do that. I wanted to do it from a place of like, hey, I'm good, you're good, let's do it.
You're good.
Good.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I wanted to postpone it, not because we had too much sex, but that desire to put off until I'm that strong, independent person again. Like, I just wanted to get back into that identity, but I don't know why.
But because the reason why we were here together, because remember I told you that it's like a test run. Let's try this for a week and let's see how it goes. Because she had really strict routines, guys. You wouldn't believe her routines. It's like robotic in a way.
That's not robotic. It's calming for me.
Okay, and then we wanted to see if we can blend and we can still be happy living with each other. And it turns out she was knocking off stuff on her tasks list like crazy, very productive. She can sleep now despite me snoring.
But yeah, it's like, that's why like I had that fear too. Is like, okay, if I'm gonna move in with you from this standpoint, does that mean I'm weak for relying on you, or for allowing myself to depend on you for a bit, or for allowing?
I don't see you as weak.
Yeah, but like these are just questions that I like ask myself internally. It's like, what does that mean? What does that say about me? Like, does that mean I'm not independent anymore? Like, because I feel like I've also pegged part of my self-worth to how much I make and how much I didn't need anybody else to help me or to provide for me, because I got me, and I feel like the next level for me isn't an I got me anymore. It's like, yeah, there's still that aspect, but it's like allowing myself to grow in such a way where I let people in, because my friends tell me like, your boundaries are not boundaries, they're walls.
Yeah. And they're keeping you from establishing new relationships.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to really, like, it was one of my like intentions. It was like, okay, I'm ready for like for great relationships. And I don't know, like, I feel like because I do have like a really strong personality and I do Like give off a strong vibe.
Yeah, you've
People
done
would feel
Tinder dates.
intimidated.
You've done Tinder dates. Like, have you never ever considered lowering your boundaries for some of these dates, even once, maybe?
Like what lowering my boundaries?
Maybe because this guy is really awesome, consider staying out too late just a little bit.
Oh, we have. That's not
Okay.
an issue. Like sometimes I stay up until like 3 a.m. Just making out with somebody on the couch. Like I just felt like before I got into before I had this situation in business, like I was like, okay, I'm set, I'm ready for a relationship, bring it. And I feel like I didn't really meet anybody who well, I guess I have. I've met a guy who kind of like wanted a relationship too, but he was just too old for me. Yeah, and
Just too old. Like, how old?
you're like so old, ancient.
Like 50?
Yeah,
The fuck?
yeah, and yeah, there you go. Like I just felt like I wanted something more serious, not just like fuckity fuck.
Okay, you know what? This is off topic, but it just really boggles my mind. Why consider going out with someone who's 50 when you know it's not even gonna.
There's a cockroach.
I know we're gonna kill that later. Why consider going out with someone who's 50 if you know it's not gonna work out anyway? Just to know them, just to get to know people.
Because they're so interesting, and it's not the easiest to find somebody who's so interesting when you're smart.
So you're actually considering maybe 50-year-olds is the guy for you, no, talaga.
I'm farting again. Fart part 3.
Okay, so you're considering that maybe 50-year-olds is the only guy who can really relate to you, and you're actually thinking that maybe you're gonna end up with a 50-year-old doon talaga.
Not really end up with a 50-year-old, but
Just for the sake of getting that intellectual conversation
yeah,
high
the stimulation.
and get
it's
to talk
really
with
different.
them, but
yeah.
not a long-term thing.
I want I had this like, you know who I'm talking about. Like this really successful guy. He was 50-ish.
Okay, yeah.
And my god, like every single time we talked, I would get turned on. Like we've only met once before, and that was before I liked him. And every time we talk, like I get turned on. I think it's like instant intellectual stimulation. But it's like, yeah, he's just like so old. Like I would probably hate my life. Now that I'm like looking back, I'd probably hate my life because I would just like
Do all the action.
I would just like give him everything he wants, and I would probably like feel like I would probably be a mom.
So it's never about the age thing when you ended. If you
Sit down here.
It's never about the age thing when you decided to end it with him. Never about the age.
I think it was also the age.
Because let's say if he was like 30, he'd probably be dating right now, right?
Yeah, but like it's also the age because I'm thinking like, fuck, if I wanted to have a kid, how old would you be if that kid is 10? And the answer is like 70 or something. I'm like,
Or not even live.
yeah, I'd probably not even live. You know, I'd probably be dead. And that's why, and that's not the only thing. Like he had such a strong sense of self that I would probably just like be an accessory for him.
Because I guess these things, you know, the sense of self that you saw in him, these things comes with age.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's kind of unfair for some guys who are still developing and just can't get a girl who's 20, because girls who are 20 right now are actually very evolved in their way of thinking, that guys their age are just not in the same level with them.
Of course, you know that bit from experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, you guys.
Awesome.
That's
So every episode lasts an hour.
I think so.
Yeah, that's our marker. It's right there.
Yeah, that's it, you guys. We haven't really sorted out everything yet, but I definitely can say that communication helps. Like me telling him that, okay, these are the things that I'm afraid of, so that you're not guessing, right? You're not guessing because I'm telling you, like, this is what's happening in my head.
Yeah, it's not a guessing game.
Yeah, it's not a guessing
problem solving game.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And so by the way, they didn't know my name. They didn't catch my name just yet. My name is Madge, and she's Ange. And that's for our first episode of
Pussy Power.
All right.